I struggle to know how to properly introduce these clips that I have for you. We talked already yesterday about Trump's Tucson, Arizona speech, but that was more about him announcing he's not going to do another debate. The first part where he was ranting for the first few minutes of the speech about his feelings about how the debate went, and he's so angry at the moderators and their low lives and all this nonsense. Well, the second part got even crazier somehow. We'll start with him clearly just struggling to use his brain and a few glitches.
Almost like nothing. Here are the other pillars of my plan to end this nightmare and help millions of Arizona families afford the house of your dreams. We will rapidly reduce inflation by slashing energy costs.
Inflation's going to be reduced by slashing energy causes. Not sure what that means. Not sure what this means either.
But now Arizonans are experiencing an affordability crisis, and this is a crisis of...
crisis. And you also have this doozy.
When I return to the White House, we will require...
We will recock. Okay. Then he gets a little defensive. I'm not in decline.
If I mispronounce one word, like I called mismanagement, I said the Bureau of Mismanagement. Well, I was kidding. They won't say that. They'll say he's cognitively impaired.
Yeah, I don't know if he did the same thing you might remember with the Nikki Haley moment. Nikki Haley, when he was talking about Nancy Pelosi, and he came out and said, "No, I was making a point about how they're so similar," even though if you watch the clip, obviously he wasn't. And him being insecure about this is interesting, given that increasingly, we'll be covering this over the coming days, mainstream media is really catching on to the story and talking about how noticeable. Obviously, there was a big discussion about that with Biden, leading to, in part, him dropping off the presidential ticket. Now many are saying that should be a consideration with Trump. Obviously, he would never consider it, but he is also a very different man. And that's not something he likes hearing. And then there's times where you go, is this indicative of decline or just that he's never known things? Here he says this.
And illegal Haitians, and he came in, illegal Haitian migrants taking over a beautiful place. It was so beautiful. Springfield, Ohio. I was there. I campaigned there a while ago. Springfield, it was so beautiful. Now it's just... what a place. Can you imagine you have this small little community, all of a sudden you have 20,000 illegals in your community. Nobody knows where they come from.
Nobody knows where they come from. Number one, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Actually, before I fact check this, take a look at this from the speech we also already covered.
No, I will, maybe Springfield, maybe Aurora, maybe both. We'll go there. I can say this, we will do large deportations from Springfield, Ohio. Large deportations. We're going to get these people out. We're bringing them back to Venezuela. You know, he told Biden he's not accepting anybody back. They moved all their criminals.
He's going to send Haitian immigrants to Venezuela for some reason. Huh? And then in the first clip, he says, Haitian immigrants, we don't know where they came from. I have a guess. Haiti. But the other thing you should know about this story, as it's getting more and more depraved how they're fear-mongering about people, these are lawful immigrants with legal immigration status. And they're being called illegal immigrants. The population he's talking about in Springfield, Ohio, are documented immigrants. But they've invented the story, not to mention the added dehumanization of the eating of dogs and cats angle, which is also not true. Then you have this out of context moment.
You saw it. Well.
And that's Trump's routine about trans lifters. If you haven't already and want to support us on our race to 1 million subscribers, you can do it by clicking that subscribe button below. Easy, free, simple. It makes all the difference. Back to the video. Then Trump keeps calling Tim Walz the vice president. Obviously, Vice President Kamala Harris is the vice president.
But I was very happy because I got the endorsement of the vice president's family. And I got the endorsement of the vice president's brother.
Kamala Harris doesn't have a brother.
And even sent me a contribution. And I was very happy because Barack Hussein Obama, his brother, as you know, endorsed me. So, no, his brother endorsed me.
So no one knows why. We do know. He's saying vice president in place of running mate or vice presidential running mate. That one's a more acceptable mistake, I guess. But referring there to members of Walz's family, I guess, who are conservatives, it happens. Then you have this false claim.
He said, how great was my speech tonight? Did you see the size of that crowd? Oh, and by the way, her crowds are zero. Her crowd, she's got no crowds. They bus the people in. They pay buses to bring people. Nobody here rode in on a bus, I guarantee you that. Unless you own it.
So actually, I was preparing in a different segment. Let me see if I can find for you what's being referred to there. Here's a Trump supporter who, I don't know why Twitter insists on, there you go, you can cut to this, Jane, who asked about this video. Why are there buses? Oh my gosh, they're busing fake people into Harris rallies. In reality, I've been to a bunch of Trump rallies. Sometimes there are vehicles there that clearly got crowds, and I'll explain why. But most of the time, he's right. And cars are just everywhere, causing a logistical nightmare. You know how difficult it is to get out of those rallies sometimes because of the car jam? So what I guess is being done at these Harris rallies is, and this happens for big events sometimes, you'll have parking around the event from the normal parking lot, but so many people want to come that then you'll have other designated fields or parking lots where people can park over there, maybe a couple miles away, and you get buses to transport people from a parking zone to the venue. Thoughtful, more logistically sound, and creates less of a logistical headache when it's time for these thousands and thousands of people to leave. And I do want to see as well, before moving on to other moments from this, if I can show you this. This is no crowds, according to Trump. Yeah, no one's there. No one likes her. Nothing. No excitement. And New York Times did do a whole piece, as we've already discussed, about how actually, since she got into the race, not that this is the most important thing in the world, but Trump is obsessed with his tiny crowds, as Obama said. And so it's interesting to mention that actually Harris has had bigger crowds. Then this just insane. This is crazy stuff. We go through it so often you think, oh yeah, it's Trump. No, this is insanity manifested.
It's the biggest, because can you imagine your child goes to school and they don't even call you and they change the sex of your child? Think of it.
I just saw a really funny TikTok. The quote that he used in a different one was, they go to school and they get a brutal sex operation, and when they come back, they've had a surgery, and the school doesn't tell you. As I've said before, okay, so now we can just say anything. That's not something that has ever happened. There aren't trans surgeries at schools, okay? Oh my gosh. And the types of surgeries they're talking about don't happen on underage people. And they definitely don't happen at school. I can tell you that for triple certain than this.
The suburbs were safe. That's why when they say suburban women maybe don't like Trump, I think they're wrong. I think they love me. I do. I never had problems with women. I never had any problems.
He says he's never had problems with women. He means electorally. He has had problems with women electorally and is currently having problems with women electorally, but he's also had problems with women in his personal life, like the many, many women who have accused him of sexual assault, and the one that had it litigated in a court of law determining indeed he's liable for sexually abusing her. He can't seem to realize, as Harris kept saying, you're not running against Joe Biden anymore. You're running against her, but he can't get his brain off of it.
Not good. When I imitate Joe Biden not being able to find his way off the stage. which happens all the time. No, it happens all the time. I get decimated by the fake news media, and sometimes they say, look, he can't find his way off the stage either. You have these stages, they have like 4 or 5 stairs, usually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, is this a government-owned building?
So that's never happened. It's literally never happened that a clip of him pretending to be Biden wandering off the stage was reported as him having trouble wandering off the stage. Never happened. He's making it up. There have been instances where he actually struggled to go down a ramp, but that was while he was president, before he was making fun of Biden. And he's just lying to prepare you in case he ever looks confused. Oh, it must be because he's imitating Biden. Because he does that at speeches a lot. Oh, look, I'm Biden. And no one ever says that's Trump confused. They know he's talking about Biden. Then he can't get off this either.
Remember when she went out and she said thank you? Do you remember that? It was the weirdest thing. Am I wrong? Because they were saying JD and I are weird. No, we're very solid people. She's weird. And that vice president of hers is really weird. He's really... That was a soundbite. You know, they said, oh, he's weird. That was, in other words, they gave it to their friends in the fake news. Weird. It's something I've never called. I've been called a lot of bad things, but not weird. But, you know, she went out and the people were applauding and stuff. And she goes, thank you, 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 thank you. I think she went nuts. There was something wrong with her.
She was grateful that people were so excited to see her, unlike many that walk out of your rallies. No, to be clear, I love that Harris mocked him for that, and it does happen, especially when we see in person. People do wander out. He also, we know, has diehard support from a certain portion of people. Our hope in pointing that out is that it's withering a little bit, right? But by the way, on the first, I meant to make the point, attacking Biden does nothing for him now, but he keeps doing it. And then on that, he's very fixated on being called weird. He really doesn't like it, so keep calling him it. And he said this.
So because we've done 2 debates and because they were successful, there will be no 3rd debate. It's too late anyway. The voting's already begun. You got to go out and vote.
And then I also wanted to show you, of course, on these things will pop into my head, and I didn't realize I was going to want this in this segment. But there's a clip of Trump where he, after the debate, here it is. Yes, found it. This is after his debate with Biden. He said this. Listen closely.
So tonight I'm officially offering Joe the chance to redeem himself in front of the entire world.
So this was him inviting Biden to a second debate. Trump has been going around and saying that you only want another debate if you got defeated. But he definitely believes, and it's fair to say, even though he was a dishonest disaster compared to the Biden performance, Trump's described to have won that debate. It was obviously a better night for him politically than it was for Biden. And after that, he said, let's do it again, Biden, even though he perceived himself to be the winner. Now he's saying, no, you only asked for a rematch if you lost. That's why Harris is asking for it. When Harris is obviously asking for another night for the same reason Trump was, which was it was a political winner for Harris and loser for Trump. Let me know what you thought of that in the comments. Support the show by clicking the join button below, and donate to Harris's campaign by clicking the link in the description of this video.